Spotlight then on the sneaker fashion boom. What is the sneaker reselling culture all about, and how is it really taking on the luxury brand market? My colleague Ankita Saxena caught up with Vedant Lamba, the founder of Mainstreet Marketplace. Take a look at this conversation.
You know, when we sort of stumbled upon the world of sneakers a few years ago, it just seemed like India didn't have much of that building, and that gap just seemed like an opportunity to us that, okay, there's definitely space to build something. How large, etc., we didn't know, but the vision was always massive. And, you know, since then it's sort of accumulated into understanding that, you know, we're not really trading sneakers per se, but we're sort of building a marketplace for status symbols. Right. So, you know, I wouldn't restrict our long-term vision to just sneaker resale or the market size for what that stands for. For us, the general idea is that we will build a brand ethos around like status driving symbols. And, you know, we see a significantly strong like market opportunity there. And, you know, it's a global opportunity for us. India and sneakers was the first step in brand building.
Right.
So we took that plunge there. But you know, from day one, essentially, we've always looked at it as a big opportunity. So I don't think there came a specific time. But since we found out, it was okay, there's a massive opportunity, so we'll build something.
Right. So what is the market opportunity? What is the opportunity that you're seeing also in the coming years?
Today, you see, Indians are slowly and steadily really growing on answering the question of what do you do with all this money? You know, for the longest time, the culture of gadde ki niche, you know, paise rakhna it's becoming sort of, it's changing. Indians are ready to splurge on travel, on that's growing very rapidly. You know, looking at the
but
trends.
You know, Vedant, gadde ke niche paise rakhna is an investment, but shoe exactly is not an investment.
No, but that's what I'm saying. It's not. We're not here to take financially sound decisions. And
all
I think the number of people who are not taking 100%. Look, to be fair, there is a way in which these sneakers can be treated as financially sound decisions. Okay, and that is our whole supply chain. There's a lot of people who buy and sell sneakers as commodities. But now the largest opportunity is not in selling to them. We want to sell to the people who don't care about the financial sound nature of these decisions, right? For us, think about it this way. And this is my favorite form of explaining what we do and how big the opportunity is. If you take the customers of car brand Mercedes-Benz, okay, what percentage of their customers do you think know the spec of their engine or the make of it? 1%, 2%,
right.
And the remaining 98%, what is it? It's the logo.
Right.
So you tell me, where is the opportunity to make money? Is it in the people who know sort of the financial movement of these sneakers, the commodity value of these sneakers, or is it the people who buy them because they want other people to know that they're wearing 3 lakh rupee shoes? I think it's the latter, and we're sort of playing to that market. That when you walk into the Mainstreet store, you walk out status uplifted. And that energy is very important to us. Okay. And that is sort of what we're building on.
Right. But your consumer is very niche. It's a very niche market. Your consumer is a premium, more discerning consumer. How do you then grow the market? What are the catalysts that will grow this market, and how are you playing a role in that?
So, you know, I think key factors to keep in mind is that our average selling price is very high.
Correct.
So, although we are in a niche market, depth is important to us. See, we're very clear that in a business like this, I could take a lot of credit for selling the shoes and, you know, being the catalyst on making that happen. But at the end of the day, the shoes are selling because Nike made it.
Right.
And they built the demand.
Right.
All we have to do is show up. Right. We show up correctly, they'll sell. The harder thing here is building a brand. So it is very important to stay focused and to sort of do the quiet things correctly over a long period of time, so that people can associate very subconsciously that Mainstreet is status driving. And that is what the harder part was to do. And that sort of brand building, that intangible brand value that we will end up doing will allow us to multiply categories in this space and go deeper with that same niche audience.
Right.
We want to go to the 1 million households that have, you know, 20, 30 lakhs a month in disposable income, and sort of, and, you know, don't quote me on that number, they may not be 20, 30 lakhs of income, but I mean like large amounts of disposable income. And we want to get as much out of them as possible, essentially. I think there is definitely a 10,000 crore turnover opportunity there. And we're chasing that. We're chasing that very rapidly.
Right. Also, are you planning to grow the vertical, like you have shoes? Do you plan on getting into other stuff, other luxury goods as well?
No, definitely. For us, like I said, you know, bringing luxury goods is not the harder part. but
Creating a market?
building an existence of who we are
Okay.
is the harder part. Hence, currently the core focus is saying no to other things and being focused on sneakers till we build ultimate depth here. And what happens is when you can stay clear on what you're doing, focus on what you're doing, you can build faster scale and you can build tangible and very strong, high quality distribution that is not fickle.
Right.
This distribution then ends up like belonging to us. We're playing a long-term game. We don't want to be, we could spend a lot of money and grow very quickly, diversifying revenue streams here, but at the end of the day, that'll be very like, you'll wonder what Mainstreet is. But today you ask anybody on Mainstreet, they'll tell you very clearly. And that is extremely important to us.
Right. And I want to talk about these people who will tell me very clearly what Mainstreet is. It's almost like an underground sort of a movement that's happening, how will you create awareness? I mean, there is a larger part of India that may not be aware of it, but has the money and the aspiration to probably own that shoe. Are you planning to advertise or anything of those sorts?
So we've been fairly contrarian in our approach so far. All of our growth, from 0 to about 5 crores in monthly revenue has been organic. We've spent almost nothing on ads. Till date, I think we spend less than $1 lakh a month on ads. And the sort of approach we took was a very organic community building perspective. We started a YouTube channel before we started our business.
Right.
And the YouTube channel is almost 100,000 subscribers today of very organically engaged, community members who watch our content. And again, the idea is, can we sort of reach the aspirational class before they can afford the product?
Yeah.
And can we connect with their customers and be in their eyes and ears before they're making purchases and for a long period of time? Like I said, that distribution then becomes very high quality. So this year we're putting a lot of resources into really scaling that.
Okay.
And we create content to create content. In the sense, we're not building videos just to sell product. We're building these videos for an audience that likes to watch them.
Okay.
That can stay entertained, that'll come back to watch them and listen to them. And we look at that as a whole separate entity. That's sort of the money that this business brings us, lets us invest in. So, scale will come very organically from that side of things, while we will invest in advertising a little bit here and there. But sort of that becomes our top of our customer acquisition funnel that allows us to touch the mass of the aspirational class. And because all those people are building aspirations to interact with our ecosystem of things, you end up seeing tier 1, the more premium communities are more incentivized to come shop from here because there's so many people who are already watching and trying to buy into this ecosystem.
Right. So now let's just talk about money. You raised pre-seed in December and now you've raised $2 million.
Yeah.
Tell us, how do you plan to allocate the funds and what are your areas of investment?
As a business, we've been fairly bootstrapped. The pre-seed money was not much. So we've been fairly bootstrapped from day one. So we've never really seen cash in bank. It's always been long-term for us. So we've been spread fairly thin. We're honestly very excited to just see working capital in our bank accounts right now. But, take the money and we're investing in a retail expansion to also sort of add strong value to our services and doing same-day delivery in multiple cities.
Okay.
So we're doing that. We're hiring we're hiring some senior members for the first time. Pretty excited to do that and sort of again scale on the quality of our services across the board. We're putting some money into advertising and we're just sort of expanding the team right now to build capability to take this for the next 10x over the next 12-15 months.
So how many retail stores are you planning to open up? You have 2 now, one in Delhi and one in Bombay.
Yeah,
so how many more?
So we're getting a new one in Bombay. This is our first store. It's cute, it's small, it's homely. We'll get a larger flagship in Bombay.
Right.
And then we're going to get probably another 6 stores in 6 other metro cities by the end of the year. So we'll be in 8 cities hopefully by the end of the year doing same day and next day delivery across the country. And sort of the priority this year is to really build on the quality of service, and that's what we plan to really deploy the capital towards. Between that and just tech, setting up a lot of automation and using tech to better the quality of our services.
Yeah. Right. And finally, Vedant, you have a very elite celebrity clientele. I've heard you have Ranbir Kapoor, Ranveer Singh, and Karan Johar as your clients. So, which celebrity, according to you, has the best sneaker game?
Best sneaker game?
Yeah.
I mean, everybody has their own taste, but I mean, without a doubt, Ranbir Kapoor's got the greatest taste. He's pretty cool. Badshah's got a pretty solid collection. These guys have actually, they just really care.
Right.
You can tell. Ranbir will text me every few months when he sees something specific that catches his eye. And I want to get these, I want to get these. And they really care about their shoes, and then he'll send it to us to get them cleaned and freshened up and fixed.
Okay.
It's cute. I think he has great taste. Ranbir has a really cool collection also that not a lot of people have seen. So it's also that sort of mystique that piques our interest further.
All right, Vedant. Thank you so much for joining us today.
All right, let's move on then and talk about cyber